ex-CIA psycho hopping around on a futuristic pogo ball? What's not to want to check out on this? Let's check out Jack-O-Lantern.
Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave me a comment. Without further ado,
Spider-Man. Hey kids, it's Hyperdellic. Today, we've got some more Spider-Man retro card. Although it's kind of a made-up thing today too, because it's not. Jack-O-Lantern was never in the cartoon series, or at least not the original animated. Well, that's not the original animated series either. The one from like the early '90s, or I think it was early '90s. Oh my goodness, I don't even remember. He did end up in like the 2000s series, but not as this version. This version of Jack-O-Lantern is more akin to the comic book version of Well, there's like 5 or 6 different versions. I think there's 5 altogether, different versions of Jack-O-Lantern. This version of Jack-O-Lantern, I think he's like I want to say he's like the second version, second or third. Because I want to say the first version officially was in this like Machine Man or Robot Man comic. I don't remember what that comic is, but I've seen it. I didn't read it, but he had like a purple suit, so it wasn't this version. This version is the I want to say he's like the second version. And this version also becomes Hobgoblin at some point, and then he becomes like possessed by a demon, and then they split apart and he becomes himself, and then the other one becomes Demo Goblin, which is a cool looking figure. I've seen it. It looks pretty tight. I wouldn't mind a newly updated version of that without pins and stuff, but yeah, that looks cool. I kind of like that. The only thing I don't like about the character itself is the fact that he seems to just always get his ass handed to him. like just always, no matter what, he just gets messed up, whether he's jerking around with bad guys or good guys. Everybody seems to step on this guy and grind him into the dirt. So I mean, I feel bad for him. His whole story is he's a CIA guy, but he turns into a real douche. And I'd feel worse for him, but yeah. I think I kind of like the newest version of Jack-O-Lantern as characters go. And that's he's the one with he's the previous figure that they released. If that's not getting confusing enough for you. He's the old figure, but the newer guy. He's got darker tones and stuff. I like his character, but I like his look better. I'm preferential to the Spider-Man animated, cartoon series, animated series, from the 90s, versions of everything, kind of. That's just my Spider-Man, right? Ever since I was a kid, I was in Spider-Man Underoos and had I remember the Spider-Man Hot Wheels set that featured Craven, and it was just it was so cool. I loved that thing. I had the Spider-Man Hot Wheels cars and all that stuff. I had Amigo Spider-Man and Amigo Incredible Hulk. I mean, I was Spider-Man all the way when I was a kid, but I never really got into comics. I don't know. I don't feel like my parents ever influenced me towards comics. But I mean, my dad loved sci-fi. I don't think he was really a comic book guy. But I have started to read comics, in the recent years. I've been trying to make my way through the X-Men, but I'm always reading Masters of the Universe stuff too, whenever that stuff pops up. But yeah, let's talk about Jack-O-Lantern. Okay, so his design is very similar to Hobgoblin, although I believe a lot of him is all brand new. So we're going to take a look. I mean, the retro card is so good. I love the Spider-Man stuff, period. Here's the back. He's a mercenary in an armored suit. Jack-O-Lantern terrorizes New York on his hovercraft as the infamous flame-headed villain. I am not going to keep on doing that. And as you can hear, I'm still being affected by allergy season. Sorry. Blame Mother Nature. Blame all the people that planted cottonwood in my neighborhood. Ugh, it's such an awful, awful tree. It's my enemy. Okay, so that is enough gawking at the box. Let's rip into this thing. All right, dude, look at this guy. Holy cow. I was really excited for him, and rightfully so. Listen, I am not going to go into the whole crazy story about him, okay? Quick, brief summary. He's like the second jack-o'-lantern, okay? There's been like 5 of them. This version of the jack-o'-lantern turns into, eventually, a hobgoblin. And then he kind of continues on the hobgoblin story. It's sort of tragic and ridiculous. He's always getting his ass handed to him. Like, it's terrible. Like, he's not a very good mercenary. Like, he started out as a CIA operative that was just sloppy and bad and just a douche, right? Not a good dude. And then he eventually gains gets the hobgoblin suit, but he's not powerful enough because Hobgoblin had like a juice serum, you know, he was all roided up. So he tries to find a way to get roided up. I think at one point he even like gets dosed up with Craven's serum or something like that. And then he becomes like part demon, or I think the demon thing happened before that. And then there's this Demo goblin that is awesome looking. I would love an updated version without pins. Hasbro, wink wink. They're gonna give us something, I'm sure. All of these cartoon versions, and the fact that he comes on a retro card kind of makes me wonder if maybe they're not going to. They might reboot the old Spider-Man series. X-Men was so successful. I mean, I loved it. I don't know about you guys, but I thought it was great. I even loved the way that it ended. I love the fact that Gambit has not come back yet, because we know he's coming back. He better come back. Love Gambit. But this guy's pretty cool. Now let's take a look at him, because he is another example of Hasbro knocking it out of the park when it comes to sculpt. The head sculpt, I guess, is a new head sculpt. The chest buck is new as well. It's that whole oh, whoops, I forgot to put my stand up. I figured out how to balance my stand finally. I just got to put a little stand underneath it and just prop it up like about a couple of millimeters, and then it's usually okay. Watch, I say this and he's going to dump over right now, isn't he? Is he? Hey, all right, see? I fixed it. Ish. Anyways, so accessories. He comes with this little peg for the bottom of the pogo ball thing. Goes in there, right? But you can take it out so that you can stand it. And I'm gonna say, I thought he was gonna suck on there, and the stand actually works pretty well, even on my janky turntable that loves to duff my figures everywhere. Okay, so he also comes with a couple of fists. You've seen fists. I don't need to get all crazy with them. And then he also comes with a little pumpkin bomb dealy thing. I don't know what these are actually called. I know that, the goblins have these, but they're not. They're better looking. They look like pumpkins. So his are probably not pumpkin bombs. You want to look in the peg hole? Dirty. And it has a peg hole because on the belt, there's a place to pop it on. Yep. See that? That's nice. What else does he come with? He comes with this hand that can grip it. Look at that. Oh, dude, you don't know how much I wish my Hobgoblin came with that hand. I don't know if that VHS Green Goblin comes with a hand like this, but I know the previous versions don't come with that kind of hand. Like, he can't grip it without, I have to put like a sticky tab thing in it, and it's, I don't like doing that. I like this hand. I want another one in Hobgoblin Orange. Thank you, Hasbro. Just send it on out. If you want, hit me up and I'll give you my address. But Hasbro, good job on this thing. I want to zoom in on this and show you the good job that Hasbro has done. Spider-Man. Look at that face. Oh man, dude. This is an excellent sculpt. Like, that head sculpt is phenomenal. I know a lot of people. I've heard chatter on the internet, and a lot of people prefer the darker old one. You got to remember, man. These are two different characters, really. I mean, it really is. It's a different character. So I feel like you should compare it to the other Jack-o'-lantern, as if they are two completely different characters with kind of the same issues going on. And that makes it better in canon in my head. See how that works? You just you noodle your way around cognitive dissonance, and then you're all right. You're like, then this works. Okay, fine. So beyond the head sculpt, look at that, the multiple layers of plastic working. They've got a lighter, that yellow inner ball layer, and then the wash that they have put on the outside of that orange layer is it's very nice. Like they have stepped up their idea of what simple enough for these figures is, and I appreciate that. A wash here and there is perfect, and I like the fact that they don't go real heavy on it, because this is supposed to represent it, as it looks like, the cartoon series version of what he would have been like, right? So that's pretty awesome. I love that. I feel like it would have been cooler if the inner ball was darker. I think that would have made a cooler effect, especially with the blazing hair. But I get it. You want it to look like it's lit up like a jack-o'-lantern. So, okay. I get it. There is this neck scarf thing that they have put on him, which is a really nice touch. Does it hinder head articulation? A bit. I'm sure it would probably be better if that scarf wasn't there. But I think it's all right. Right? This is how I feel about it. Like, that's fine. What are you guys complaining about? I've heard about some complaints about the head, and that's fine. Now, I like this. The butterfly is very nice. It's well done with all of this little detail on the inside. That's great. I haven't seen that before on Marvel Legends, and it looks like they're going for it and doing stuff like this, because I haven't seen any figures that have like a textured pattern on the chest like this and a butterfly. It feels like they kind of sway away from it, like it's like, oh, that's scary. Don't do that. It does have a waist twist and an ab crunch. I really, really, really want to see Marvel Legends do more like what they did with the Spider-Man Renew Your Vows figure. And I want to say that's almost the same exact buck as the Deadpool and Bob 2-pack from the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive thing. That's a fantastic figure set. But the articulation on that Spider-Man and on that Deadpool is exactly what I want in all of these. That waist is great. Okay, I don't mind if a figure doesn't turn at the waist, as long as it's got a diaphragm that you can turn. And honestly, anatomically, the diaphragm is kind of more where you turn anyways, right? Whose hips turn like that? Nobody's. Certainly not mine. And that's not just because I'm fat and old. I am. I'm fat and old. I'm sorry. Sorry to ruin the illusion. And full of allergies. Ugh. So the rest of this sculpt is really good. There you go. For the ladies, for the gentlemen who drink that tea. That's not my cup of tea. I think I'm gonna do a whole episode centered around the gadonks of the action figure world. I don't know. I'll probably lose a bunch of subscribers over this, but I feel like it's a thing that needs to be said. Like, don't forget the booty. Okay, the booty needs to not look awful. That's my take on it. It's not about I like action figure butt. No, that's not it at all. Hey, look at that. That's a work of art. I wish my butt looked like that. but it doesn't. I'm not going to show you my butt. Some of you are like, thank you. All right, so he has standard articulation. He's got a bicep cut, double elbow. Looks like no wrist cut, but wrist swivel. Horizontal rockers on the hands. Right? No pew-pew hand. No vertical. I like vertical rockers, especially on something like this. I would kind of... I guess that's okay. It would have been cooler if I could have pitched it like that or something. What else do we got going on this buck that's fairly unique? I will say that the knees are nice and beefy. There's no rubber knee. See, I mean, it's got a little bit of give. You want a little bit of give, okay? Trust me. You want it to be a little malleable. Boots are pretty nice. There's a boot cut right there. Ankle is pretty good. Very nice in range. Actually, you could probably do like a squatting on the board kind of thing, which kind of sounds weird now that I've said it out loud. Squatting on the board. I guess that's what you do when you're squatting on your pogo board. Look at him all pretty on the pogo board. All right, that's good enough. We'll leave it there. Yep. All right. So, and that looks pretty cool. I mean, he does look good, and he can still balance. Yeah, that's actually pretty tight. Yeah, like that. That looks good. You'll see. Because you know what? You know what we got to do now? We got to do some posing and photos. Yeah, let's do that. Let's zoom out and do that. Diddly-ling. And we're back. Did you like that? Was it fun? Was it good for you? The more that I futz around with him, the more I really like this figure. I could give or take the character. Maybe when they reboot the Spider-Man series, he'll be a little bit more charismatic. I don't know. We'll see. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's got it. They want to sell more action figures. They're gonna do it. They're going to, because that's why the cartoons even exist. They did that whole X-Men series so that you would go out and buy all the 97 X-Men. Did you? So did I. So it worked. This, I do not regret him. He is awesome. He's a fantastic display piece. Like, putting him up on a shelf someplace by himself in a special setting almost feels like you should do this. He almost feels better than a normal Marvel Legends figure. It almost feels like they're trying to step up their game so that they can beef up their price level or something. Don't know, but hey, keep up the good work, man. This the head sculpt, the chest buck. I mean, the boots are nice. I like that. It's got that great, like, solid cartoon look. I'm not a big fan when the Marvel figures get a little too realistic, like, and especially when they have sweaty face. You know what I'm talking about, sweaty face. And that almost always happens on, like, the movie realistic looking ones. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It makes me sad. It's like, it doesn't look like a fun action figure. It looks like a cruddy statue, right? Because if you want that, you might as well just get a maquette or, a figurine. You want the realistic stuff. I want fun and play, And I suspect a lot of you that watch my reviews, you like a more fun and play sort of aspect to your figures. I know a lot of you out there think that Marvel Legends is a waste of money. I do not. I think they're a really good, like, action figure line. I promised myself when I first started collecting that I was not going to start collecting Marvel Legends because of how much variety they have. I mean, like, literally every week there's a new figure that's coming out or something. Maybe not every week, but they could do one every week, and it would be a new figure every week, and we would all buy it each week. I mean, I would think I would be okay with that. And sometimes the way they do this stuff, it drives me nuts. But hey, opinions. My opinion of this figure is that he is excellent. They did a nice job. He is well sculpted, and has such nice actionability to him. Like the butterfly joint, the double, jointed everything pinless. He's got a lot of range of movement. You saw in the photos. You can do all kinds of nice things with him. Is he the best figure they've ever put out? He's going to be high up on my top 10 this year. Honestly, he's up there. Like, he's one of my favorite that's been released this year. I don't know how else to like. He's beautifully detailed and yet still simple. That shine, that shimmer that he's got going on in the green is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Like, it's amazing. I think this figure deserves a lot of praise. Is there plenty of reuse in it? I believe so. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of reuse in it. But is that a bad thing? I mean, that's not a bad thing. Why does that? I don't like when people automatically say that reuse is bad. Bruh, you ever seen He-Man? I mean, He-Man and Skeletor basically had the same exact bodies, almost. I mean, there was so little variation in Masters of the Universe, and yet we loved it. G.I. Joe, that got a little bit more variation, but they did a lot of reuse too. G.I. Joe did a lot of reuse. A lot of repaint, but a lot of reuse. So you're always going to have a lot of reuse. Can it be done correctly? Look at that. I think this is done correctly. I think they did this figure great. They did him better than the comic book creators have given him a story, okay? Like, because honestly, his story is just terrible. You just want to you feel bad for him because he just sucks at everything. He's not good at completion. I don't think he ever wins the day. I want to say he is eventually fighting Ben Reilly too at some point, way in the distant future of Spider-Man. So they want him to be a thing, but I feel like the writing behind him needs a better story. They tried to marry him up with a demon to make him cooler, and I don't know if that worked, because then they separated the demon, and that was the cooler part. This figure is freaking dope, okay? I like him, just as a standalone figure. He doesn't need to be in a great battle with everybody else. He doesn't necessarily have to be, fitting in. He's going to fit in just fine with all of my other Marvel Legends. But, hey. I've got a lot of figures. Jack-o'-lantern. Yeah. Tell everybody what we need them to do.
Over here, you're going to subscribe, turn on notifications, and then down here, you're going to like the video. Like it?
I'm sorry. Did you like it yet? Well, do that now. Oh, subscribe, please. Come on. I'm still on my drive for 5. I'm almost at 400, you guys. I'm almost at 400. I'm almost at 400. Those of you who haven't subscribed, subscribe. There's 2 days left to where you can get all of the figures I've promised to give away. We could give away all of those figures. I got Lady Slither, I got a Rock-On, and I got a Fangor to give away. We could give away all of those if I hit 500 by May 25th. This video is probably going to come out on Friday. I don't know. Probably. So it's going to be on the 24th. So you got a day. You got a day. Get it done. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for dealing with my raspy, gross, allergy-infested throat. I hate the Midwest. I'm so done with this area. Maybe my brother was right. Maybe I should move to Florida. Florida, I don't know. It's so scary, though. Southern Florida sounds okay. Northern Florida is scary. All right. If you're from Northern Florida, I'm so sorry. Don't stop sobbing. I love you too. You're one of the cool ones. All right, guys. Have a good one. I love you all. I love you no matter where you're from. I do. Thank you for checking out my stuff. Share it, like, all of that. If you like some of the music that I used in the review, check out my Patreon. By becoming a member, you get to download all of it, and you can use it royalty-free. You don't even have to acknowledge that you got it from me. I don't even care. I'm just doing it as a Patreon thing. You just, you give me some money. It's set up like $5, $10, or $20. Anybody who gives me money gets the same thing. It's just like, hey, if you, Patreon is like you're becoming a patron of the arts. So if you want to be a patron of the arts, it's got to be voluntary. And I don't feel like giving you a level of like, oh, well, if you do this level, you can do this, this, and that. Support my art or don't. It's okay. You have many different ways to support my art. You can start by liking the video and subscribing. Lots of you are watching. I don't have enough of you subscribing. Do it. It's not going to hurt you. It doesn't even cost anything. I'm not asking you to be a member. I can't even do that yet. All right, guys. That's enough. I'm done. Have a great day. And play with your toys. Play hard. Play all the time. All right. This has been Hyperdellic showing you Jack-O-Lantern. Jack-O-Lantern! There you go, Mary. There's a little singing for you. All right, guys. Bye.